Namaskar. We're living in times of great change and transition, and the times can be confusing and create a lot of uncertainty in us. There's a Chinese word for crisis. It's wei ji, and wei means danger and ji means opportunity. So in this time of great challenge and flux, there's also great opportunities for us as a species and also as individuals to evolve spiritually, to evolve to a higher level of consciousness. That's exactly what's happening. If we look back into the archaeological history of our planet Earth, there have been several mass extinctions before. And my master explained about one regarding the dinosaurs. When they lived on the earth, those massive animals, they had very little psychic development. Their cells were large, but there was not much difference in the makeup of their cells. Their mental abilities were very, very, very limited. And after they disappeared, when the Ice Age came and they disappeared, there are other theories about why dinosaurs became extinct. But after the Ice Age, the animals which came after them were much smaller. But their minds or their psychic development was much more. And in this process of evolution, the human species also came. So if we look at today, some scientists are saying we may be facing another mass extinction because of all the crisis on so many levels. The upshot or the positive side of that cataclysm will be the emergence of a new type of human. You know, the Chinese word for tantra is meizhong, means mysterious. But for the first time in the history of human civilization, spiritual meditation is being taught on a mass level. It's because we're ready. We have evolved to that level where spirituality is becoming more and more a mainstream, a part of daily life. And so that is also an indicator of the shift in consciousness. You know, the worries that we have regarding climate change and the burning of fossil fuels, there's another gaining, say, theory behind climate change, and that is the shifting of the poles. This has occurred before on our planet, and my master said way back in 1986 that this is already occurring, and the precursors or the indicators of that pole shift are the changes that we see now in the ecological order, in the seasons, in the psychic level of human beings, and even in animals. So these are some precursors to that pole shift, which will reorient the Earth's electromagnetic patterns with the electromagnetic patterns that come in the universe, in our solar system, and as a result of which humans will become more introvertive, more meditative. So if we see these aspects, these coming, we see the signs now, and we will see more and more and more in the future, the benefit or the utility of a spiritual lifestyle cannot be overemphasized. And meditation, of course, it brings us peace, it brings us relaxation, it gives us good health. These are very, very important benefits to meditation. More significant, however, is the meaning behind our practice, when we're actually trying to connect or feel that invisible, infinite stillness within us, called by different names. So in order to affect that feeling, to get that experience, our bodies and minds have to become more subtle, more pure. So that's why we have the yoga asanas, we have the yogic diet, we have our vegetarian diet of the fasting system, living an ethical life. So in this channel we teach different practices that will help us to become more and more subtle and pure physically, mentally, and thereby spiritually. Meditation and these evolution of our consciousness goes forward hand in hand. So, you know, the other thing that many people are a little bit worried about is the use of artificial intelligence and what will happen to their jobs, for example. Actually, in a profit motivated economy as we have now, that could be a concern. And that also is causing us to rethink what is the best socioeconomic system for human society. My master talked about 4 predominant philosophies that have existed on the earth in recent times. Matter-centered philosophy. We found that matter is everything. Matter means matter is the be-all and end-all. There's no such thing as a spiritual concept. And that we found predominantly in the communist idea. And the self-centered philosophy, me, and me, that greed, which is the driving force behind a capitalist system, is the second dominant philosophy. And the third is dogma-centered philosophy. Dogma doesn't only mean in religion, but any idea which we take for granted, or which doesn't anymore, is not any more valid because of the change of time or place in this changing world, in this earth and in this universe, constantly changing. So any idea which we accept, even though it no longer has any purpose or utility, is a type of dogma. Example would be like people think that, oh, you have to have meat in order to have a healthy lifestyle or good nutrition. And it's of course not true. And this is becoming more and more apparent. And an economy which is driven by the constant need for growth, which actually, as we see it today, it is not the best system, because the way the economic system is set up is that the rich are getting more rich, and the common people are not benefiting from that so-called growth of the economy. So this is also an outdated idea. And the fourth philosophy is a consciousness-oriented philosophy, where consciousness becomes, around which our lifestyle evolves, and our outlook, and the way in which we form our social systems, our economic system. So my master said that when the cosmic mind thinks one thing, all unit minds, we are all within that unit mind, like bubble in that cosmic mind, like bubbles in an ocean. We are all within the cosmic mind. All unit minds will think the same thing. So when that cosmic mind thinks that there is the time for establishing a consciousness-centered philosophy on the planet Earth, all unit minds will think the same thing. What was impossible then will become very doable that time. And so we see slowly and gradually a movement. It's very subtle. The ways of Dharma, the ways of spirituality are very subtle. But we're slowly and gradually moving towards that. That's why more and more people are meditating and trying their best to feel that peace, that stillness, and living a more ethical life. The awareness about the rights of black people, of minorities, of women, of the animals, and so on. These are all indicators of the tremendous change of consciousness going on all over the world. It's like a roller coaster ride. When you're on the top of that roller coaster and you're about to come down, you're really, really worried that, oh, what's going to happen? I'm coming down. There's a lot of fear, but also a lot of excitement. These are the times we're living in. So I'd like to encourage you to continue the practices, all of the practices related to meditation, a holistic spiritual lifestyle. It is a lifestyle which is becoming more and more the new normal. Let's move in this way. Let's see things from a positive, but it's also realistic. And when more of us think in this way, we'll be able to affect the changes that will be good for us as a planet, and for all those that we share this planet with. Thank you. Namaskar.